Okay, welcome back for our third session for week three, I guess. Let's look at the definite article and see if we can also have enough time to look at the wow conjunction. In Hebrew, unlike English, the words have no indefinite article. An indefinite would be like a book, a mountain, a person. So you would just assume if the noun occurs and there's no definite article attached to it, that it is in an indefinite state. For instance, Torah can be translated law or a law. Ish can be translated man or a man. So you kind of get the idea. It's going to be spelled identical, and context is going to help you to determine when you translate whether you should put the indefinite article with the word or not. Now, the definite article, on the other hand, is a different story. The definite article does occur in the Hebrew. Remember, the definite article translates in English as the book. It gives something definiteness. The book, the floor, the room, the mountain, the city, the temple. So words can take a definite article, but a proper name or a proper place is not going to take a definite article. You're not going to see the Jerusalem translated anywhere because that's just kind of ridiculous. There's only one Jerusalem. So a definite article is not necessary, and neither is an indefinite article. So those particular proper names, the names of proper places or the proper names of places are going to occur without either a definite or indefinite article. So you would never translate a Jerusalem, a Las Vegas, a Marty. It would always just occur as Marty, Jerusalem, Las Vegas. So let's look at the definite article. The basic form of the definite article, and we translate it as it doesn't occur typically separate from the word. It's joined with or prefixed to the word. The basic form of the is hey, patha, and of course it's translated as the. Now I'll go ahead and show you the conjunction wow. It's just the wow with a herrick, and it's translated and, but we'll talk about that later. Right now I want us to focus on the definite article, which is the hey, patha, and it's translated as the. Now, in Hebrew, a noun is made definite by the use or the prefixing of that noun with the definite article, which is hey, patha, plus a doggish forte. So when you see hey, patha, and then the doggish forte in your next consonant, it should make you go ding, 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 ding. That's a definite article. Now here you can see in this word, it's the word for king, melech. You have the hey, the patha, then you have the mame with the doggish forte. So you've got your hey, patha, doggish forte right there in the word Hamelech, and it would be translated as the king. Now, when adding the definite article to words, especially the words that begin with your begay kapat consonants that have a doggish lean, the doggish lean is going to be replaced by a doggish forte. So if a letter is one of the begay kapat letters and it has the doggish lean, that doggish lean is going to look identical, but it's not going to be a doggish lean anymore. It's going to be a doggish forte. For instance, in the word, we have bath, which is house, and it's ha-ba-bath. And it's no longer, now that it's a definite noun, no longer is that bay, which is a begay kapat letter, no longer is that a doggish lean. It has now become a doggish forte. And remember, a doggish forte doubles the consonant. So it's, if you were to write it out, the way it actually would look, it would be hey, patha, bay, patha, yod, tau. So it doubles the consonant. And so that kind of gives you an idea of what happens between the doggish lean and the doggish forte in the begay kapat letters. The doggish lean basically surrenders to the doggish forte, and so it's no longer a doggish lean but a doggish forte, even though it looks the same. Now, with initial Aleph, Resh, and sometimes Ayin, the guttural will reject the Dagesh forte of the article. So the patha is going to lengthen to a commence. Remember when I told you that it was going to be really important for you to have your consonants as well as your vowels memorized? Well, this is one of those reasons why. You need to know that in your gutturals, especially the three, Aleph, Resh, and Ayin, those gutturals in particular are going to reject the Dagesh forte. So for pronunciation's sake, the commence is going, the pathak, which is a short vowel, is going to lengthen to a commence. So you have man, ish, and when man, sorry, I can't quite get it's backwards on the computer. It's going to become a hey commence, the man. So it's going to lengthen to a commence. So that you're going to be able to identify the definite article that way. With initial hey or het, the guttural rejects the Dagesh forte of the article, but the pathak does not lengthen to a commence. So you'll need to remember and understand the rules for that. For instance, hakal, which is translated palace, it'll be a hey pathak for the palace. There, it's a little bit easier to see. So you have palace there, the palace. Okay, I'm sorry it's so hard to see this with the handouts. Also, before an unaccented ayin, hey, or het, the definite article is going to appear with sagol, and it's going to be without the Dagesh forte. And those are just some basic things for you to remember and to know. If you'll look in chapter 5, you'll see some of these rules. Let's just play with this a little bit. In 5.2, the form of the Hebrew definite article, we've already gone over king, and the Hebrew word for king is melech, and that's in its lexical form. But if you're going to make that definite, give it definiteness, the king is going to have a hey pathic Dagesh forte. And you can see that in the box of 5.2, ha-melech, the king. So melech becomes ha-melech. And let me put this up here so you can see it. There it is. So there's your hey, your patha, and then your Dagesh forte stuck in your mem there. So that's the basic way that the definite article attaches itself or prefixes itself to a Hebrew noun. So prophet, navi, becomes ha-navi. Elder, zakan, becomes ha-zakan. Sus, horse, becomes ha-sus. Shofat, judge, becomes ha-shofat, the judge. And again, with the initial begay kapat, the article and initial begay kapat consonants, you know that these words with an initial begay kapat consonants are going to appear with the Dagesh lean. So when the definite article is added to these words, the Dagesh lean surrenders and becomes a Dagesh forte. And you can see the samples that are given to you here in 5.3. Beth becomes habeth. Derek becomes haderek. Gabor becomes ha-gabor. An important part of the definite article is the Dagesh forte that's inserted in the first consonant of the noun. But you know that the gutturals and resh cannot take a Dagesh forte. They're going to reject it, as we've already said. So what happens when the initial consonant of a noun is a guttural or a resh? There's going to be a compensatory lengthening. That's a big phrase, compensatory lengthening. So we've already talked about with the aleph, the resh, and the ayin. The rejection of the Dagesh forte is going to result in this compensatory lengthening. This means that the patha, which is a short a, is going to lengthen to a commence, which is a long a. In this way, the definite article compensates for the loss of this Dagesh forte by the lengthening of its vowel. And the definite article is still going to be easy to identify because it's going to have the hey instead of patha, a hey comment. And then no doggish forte, but one of these gutturals, the ayin, the aleph, the resh, or the ayin following it. Now, I'm going to stop there with a definite article and let you look through the book and the material and work through your workbook. Know this material because, again, this is one of those things you're going to see it over and over again. Don't make it more difficult than it actually is. Just know that if something is prefaced with a hey, patha, doggish forte, that's a definite article. If it's a hey, comments with an aleph, ayin, or resh, then you know that you still have the definite article. And those are the basic rules that you need to know for the definite article. Practice. Your workbook is your best friend. By doing your workbook, you are instilling in your thinking what's going on and you're getting practical experience. That workbook is probably one of the most important things you'll do this semester because it gives you a chance to not just learn something but then to apply it and see what it actually looks like. Well, I'll stop there and I'll be back with our wows, our conjunction wow.